Piper slammed her test paper onto my desk. A perfect score. Exactly 1 point higher than mine. I'm going to take everything you have, Piper whispered, leaning in so close her breath ghosted against my ear. Her voice dripped with aggression. Starting with your rank and ending with your man. I didn't even bother to look up. I just uncapped my red pen and circled the single error on my own exam paper. Out in the hallway, Wells was leaning against the doorframe. He was the kind of rich, devastatingly handsome asshole that parents warned their daughters about, the school's most notorious nightmare. Piper sauntered over to him, flipping her hair over one shoulder. I'm the new number one. Need a private tutor? Wells's gaze sliced through the air to find me. A predatory smirk played on his lips. Sure, he murmured. A collective gasp rippled through the corridor. My loyal guardian had just publicly defected, but they missed the way his knuckles turned bone white as he gripped the doorframe. They didn't know Wells's secret. He only smiled that gently when he was preparing to drag someone down to hell. Piper thought she was the main character. Me? I was just waiting for her to self-destruct. Within her first week, Piper had become a celebrity. Why? Because she did the impossible. She beat me, the untouchable academic god, by exactly 1 point. I stared down at my papers, a near-perfect aggregate score, and took a sip of water, the cool liquid sliding down my dry throat. I meticulously logged every mistake into my notebook. Never again. Mia, my desk mate, was practically drooling over her. Piper is insane. I heard Stanford basically begged her to commit early. Why would she even deign to slum it here? God knows. Piper seemed to have it out for me from day one. Even during the morning announcements, when the principal broadcasted her achievements, her eyes were locked on mine. Smug. Cold. She walked up to my desk, bending down until we were face to face. Her expression was pure mockery. Before I came here, I heard the legend of Hadley was untouchable. Looks like the rumors were exaggerated. You can't compare a diamond to a rhinestone, Hadley. A rhinestone? I looked at my near-perfect score. I begged to differ. Of course, Piper's little power trip didn't last long. Because she saw him. Her eyes lit up like she just spotted a designer bag on sale. Wells was waiting by the classroom door. He stood there, tall and effortlessly imposing, looking like a model off duty. He ignored her completely. His dark eyes found me. Nerd, he said, his voice low. Let's go home. Wells and I have history. The kind that goes back to shared playpens and diapers. I was the academic weapon, perpetually ranked number one. Wells? He was the guy consistently fighting for dead last. I was obsessed with excellence. Even when we hung out, 90% of my brain power was dedicated to deriving physics formulas. So, he called me nerd, but I knew better. I knew the way his tongue curled around that word, heavy and thick with a lingering, suffocating tenderness. It reminded me of the time he lost control. The memory hit me like a physical blow, Wells shoving me against the wall, his body caging mine, his breath hot against my neck. Miss Perfect, he had rasped, his voice rough. Do you have any idea? If you directed even a fraction of this fanaticism for school toward me, I'd lose my fucking mind. Now, Piper stood there, stronger, better, and from the jump, she was gunning for Wells. She stepped into his personal space with terrifying confidence, flipping her hair over her shoulder. Wells, let me tutor you. What do you say? Wells looked at her, blinking slowly. A look of feigned confusion. Piper pointed a manicured finger at her own chest. I'm the one they just announced on the loudspeaker. The new number one. Trust me, I have the skills. Hearing that, Wells lifted his gaze. He locked eyes with me across the corridor. Recognition flashed in his dark irises, followed immediately by a sharp, teasing glint. He was laughing at me. Look at you, Hadley. Losing your touch? My jaw tightened. I looked away, feigning indifference, but my peripheral vision betrayed me. I